Filing a 1099 miscellaneous with eFileMyForms. Thank you for visiting eFileMyForms. In this brief tutorial, we are going to show you how to file a 1099 miscellaneous tax form with the eFileMyForms reporting service. This tutorial will cover how to set up your filers, recipients, tax forms, and how to place an order. We assume that you have already set up your free account and are logged in. After you have logged in, you will be greeted with the account home page. The account home page is your control center for managing your filings, filers, recipients, and your account in general. The first thing we need to do is add a filer. A filer is a person or organization responsible for filing or reporting a 1099, W-2, or 1042-S tax form. The term filer, employer, and payer are sometimes used interchangeably. To get started, please click on the Manage Filers option in the Quick Links menu. From the Manage Filers screen, you can select Add New Filer to add a new filer to your account, or Edit Selected Filer to edit a pre-existing filer. In our example, we will use the Add New Filer option. To speed things along, we have already entered some sample information. Note, all necessary fields must be filled out. These are the fields that show up in pink. If you do not have a department code, you must still enter something. For example, 001, as it is a required field by the IRS. Also, the phone number must be entered in the format shown, with parentheses. Here, you can enter a state ID number if required. A state ID number is a generic term for a state withholding number that you can apply for and receive from each individual state that you conduct business in. These state ID numbers are generally required if you perform state withholding on your payments. If you don't have any state ID number, just click Save to save your information at the bottom right-hand corner of the page. This will take you back to the Select a Filer page, where you will see your newly created filer listed. Let's go back to the home page. In our example, we entered only one filer. However, with eFileMyForms, you can enter and store as many filers as you require. After entering your filer information, the next step is to enter the recipients that are associated with that filer. You can also enter as many recipients as you would like with the eFileMyForms service. A recipient is an individual or business that receives a 1099, W-2, or 1042-S series form. For example, employees receive W-2 forms while independent contractors generally receive 1099 miscellaneous forms, with their payments entered in Box 7, Non-Employee Compensation. The terms recipient and employee are sometimes used interchangeably. We can now add our recipient information for the filer that we just created. Let's click on Manage Recipients on the Quick Links menu. This page will show you the recipients that are related to the filer that is selected near the upper right. Make sure the correct filer is selected when entering your recipients. Now, click on Add New Recipient at the bottom of the screen. Here, we have already input some information. Press Save at the bottom of the page. This will take you back to the Select a Recipient page, where you will see your newly created recipient listed. If you have multiple recipients for this filer, then you would continue to enter them here. Now, let's go to the home page. Since we want to file a new 1099 miscellaneous, we now have two options to start a new filing under our Quick Links menu. If we only want to start a new filing for the current tax year, we can click in the field labeled Select Form Type under Start a New Filing. A drop-down menu appears with our choices of forms to pick from. Let's select the 1099 miscellaneous form. The other option is to click outside the Start a New Filing field in the Quick Links menu. After clicking, a new page will appear and we can choose the form we want to file. If we wanted to file a prior year form, we could select a different year from the options provided. 2017 season forms, 2016 season forms, etc. For our example, we are going to file a current year 2018 1099 miscellaneous. So we will click the drop-down and select 1099 miscellaneous. Anytime you want to create a new filing on eFileMyForms, the service will first start by asking you what filer you would like to report the form under. This is called the Select a Filer page, and we will see the filer information, which we entered earlier, here. Otherwise, you can always add or edit filers from here as well. If you have multiple filers, please be careful to select the correct one that you would like to create a form under. Let's select the radio button next to the filer we just created. Now, click on Continue. Next, you are brought to the Select the Recipient page, where we can view, add, or edit the list of recipients that are associated with the selected filer. In this case, we will see the recipient that we added at the beginning of the video. Just like with the Select the Filer page, you are able to add or edit recipients from here as well. For our 1099 miscellaneous example, we are going to use our existing recipient, Mr. Charlie Tuna. Select the appropriate radio button and then click Continue. Now that you have specified a filer and a recipient, you are shown a blank 1099 miscellaneous for the 2018 tax season. If you need detailed instructions concerning the form, we provide a link that allows you to download the IRS instructions for the form in PDF format. Please be sure to read the portion of these instructions that pertain to you, as eFile My Forms cannot provide any tax advice. For our 1099 miscellaneous example, we are going to assume that Mr. Charlie Tuna was an independent contractor whom was paid $7,500 for services. To report this, we will click on Box 7, Non-Employee Compensation, and enter $7,500 and 0 cents. If you have additional boxes of information to complete for this recipient, you can continue to enter them here. Now that everything on the tax form looks correct, we will click Save Form. The next page informs us that our filing has been saved. At this point, we have several options. The first option is to add filing to cart, which would place this filing in the shopping cart and take you to the checkout process. The second option is to create another form 1099 miscellaneous for 2018, which will allow you to enter more 1099 miscellaneous forms for the filer that you originally selected. If you have a different filer to enter forms for, simply click on Add More Filings, which is the fourth option, and start the process again. The third option allows you to browse filings that are in your Work in Progress section. This section contains a list of all the forms that you have entered but have not been finalized in an order yet. You are able to add a selection or all of your forms to the shopping cart from here. If you choose not to use the Add Filing to Cart option, then the form will be waiting for you in the Work in Progress section. You can always view this section by returning to the account home page and selecting Work in Progress from the Quick Links menu. You will be able to add forms to the shopping cart from that section as well. For our example, we are going to add the filing that we just entered to the shopping cart so we can pay for it. We will do this by clicking Add Filing to Cart. At this point, the form is in our shopping cart and you are able to select the service that you want and check out. The services available are print, mail, and e-file or e-file only. If you select print, mail, and e-file, then the service will print and mail a copy of your tax form to the recipient on the form and also file the form with the IRS or SSA, which fully covers your IRS or SSA reporting requirements. The e-file only option only files the forms with the IRS or SSA. Either way, once an order is placed, you can always go to that order and download PDF copies of the tax forms for your records. In this case, we will leave the default selection of print, mail, and e-file. If we wanted to, we could also use the Totals Report option to create a report that displays the grand total of all the forms and dollar amounts being reported. At this point, there are two optional items that are available before checking out. The first is the TIN check service, which performs a lookup against the IRS database to make sure that your recipient's TIN and name match up. We highly recommend this service because the IRS may fine you up to $270 per record that does not match their database. We perform this check after you have placed your order and will notify you, via email, if there are any discrepancies found. Of course, if there are any mismatches, you can always edit the forms up until the time we electronically file them, or file a correction if the forms have already been filed. The second option, TIN masking, allows you to place X's over the first 5 digits of the SSN or EIN of the recipient. This is an optional security measure that helps us prevent identity theft if any mail is lost or stolen from USPS. For our example, we are going to select the TIN check and TIN masking services. We are now ready to click the green checkout button and finalize our order. There will be a pop-up that displays the total number of forms and what service was selected for them, for you to verify before proceeding. Click OK if it looks correct. Please read the terms of service and check the box at the bottom of the screen to confirm that you accept the terms. Now, press Continue. Next, we will provide our billing and payment information. Since we have placed an order before, our billing address is already filled in. We can also opt to use a prior credit card or enter a new one. We will select a prior credit card and then press Continue. We are now able to review everything we have entered. The billing address looks correct. This is the credit card that we want to use. And there is our $10.99 miscellaneous and also a line item for the tin check service. Everything looks good. We now have one last option available before placing our order. The Delayed Processing Options tab allows us to delay the printing, mailing, and/or e-filing of our order until a certain date. This option is helpful if you would like to prepare and place your order ahead of time but don't want eFile My Forms to actually print, mail, or e-file until a later date. Please see the How-To FAQ labeled How to Delay the Processing of Your Order for more details on how to use this feature. Since we are ready to place our order right now, we are going to leave this option blank and click Confirm Order. That's it. You will now receive email confirmations of your order confirmation and when the order has been printed, mailed, and/or filed with the IRS. Filing your 1042-S, 1099, 1098, 5498, and W-2 forms has never been faster, easier, or more cost-effective than with eFile My Forms. We hope that you found this tutorial of value, and we look forward to serving you again soon.